And whenever you have been just in the fight for so long, we're all human, so we get tired.
As Melody Shari tries to pick up the pieces of her life, she's realizing just how much she regrets ever allowing her ex Martell Holt to ever be in her life. And she's not just saying that to be petty. If your ex has been doing everything to manipulate, embarrass, and control you, you would be pretty mad about it too. And not just that. Imagine finding out that on top of all that, your ex has also been spying on you and having people follow you. Chili, I have to say, Melody is a stronger woman than many people, because this is the type of the thing that makes people crash out in real time, and it gets even worse. For his latest trick, Martell ignored a court order saying he should not contact Melody for any reason outside their custody battle. This time, Melody is actually afraid that Martell might do something to her, and that explains why she regrets ever dating him. There is so much to unpack. In case you missed it, Martell Holt has found himself in legal hot water after he violated the terms of a no-contact order issued by a judge against him in relation to his ex, Melody Shari. The no-contact order was previously issued to prevent Martell from having any relations or communication with Melody, except as it relates to their custody battle. But in typical Martell fashion, he completely ignored the order and decided to just do whatever he wanted. According to the DA, Martell continuously contacted Melody about matters outside of their divorce agreement. The DA even added one incident where Melody went for a meeting at the DA's office, and Martell suddenly started questioning her to know what she was doing there. Court documents read, "The victim, this is Melody, met with the undersigned on this date to discuss our upcoming trial. After the victim left my office, the defendant, this is Martell, contacted her, demanding to know why she was there. The victim feels threatened and in fear for her safety now that she is possibly being watched by defendant or someone close to defendant." Like, how else did he know Melody went to meet with the DA if he wasn't following her or at least spying on her? That's some next level creepy thing that would have most people panicking and fearing for their lives. If you ask me, Melody has every reason to be afraid for her life, because a guy that can put tabs on you is definitely crazy enough to do something even more drastic. And like, that was the whole point of her getting the no contact order in the first place. To give you some context, Melody and Martell have had one of the most toxic relationships to ever come out of reality TV. And that's saying something, because y'all know how wild these reality TV couples can be. But when it comes to Mel and Martell drama, it's like nothing is off the table. From cheating scandals to manipulation, internet campaigns to make each other look bad, a bitter custody battle. I mean, the list just goes on and on. It's like these two are never far from drama. Or should I say Martell is never far from drama. See, when Martell and Mel first appeared on Love and Marriage Huntsville, Martell's major selling point was that he knew how to control the room and make everyone do what he wanted. But it was these same qualities that eventually turned him into the villain of the show, and really the villain of the reality TV industry. His marriage to Melody gave fans a strong picture of just how toxic and manipulative Martell could be. He cheated on her throughout the relationship, and when Mel confronted him about it, he tried to gaslight her and paint her as the villain. When Mel couldn't put up with his BS any longer, she dumped him and tried to move on with her life.
What I will say is, anytime you have to go through with making such a tough decision that you know impacts your children as well, that's always tough, man. That's always tough. But I think there had been just so many transgressions, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And no matter how many times I sat back at times and tried to keep my mouth closed and see, you think if I don't say nothing, it'll die down. They'll leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just please leave me alone. But I also have a breaking point too, where I'm like, okay, they ain't leaving me the hell alone.
But Martell wasn't about to allow her to have it easy like that. He frustrated her every step of the way, filing for full custody of their 4 kids because he apparently didn't want Melody's gay brother to be around his kids. Ugh, in big 2024? Chilly, somebody needs to put this man on timeout. Martell also kept trying to control every aspect of Mel's life. One time, she decided to play a birthday bash for their daughter, and Martell's messy behind was not invited. She told Martell about this multiple times and even offered to allow him to pick the kids so he could have extra time with them. But wouldn't you know it? Martell showed up to the birthday uninvited and went off on Melody, her mom, and her aunt, ruining his daughter's birthday party.
Tell you could come to this? This is a party I'm throwing for my daughter. You throw one for yours. Okay? Or have you thrown a party for any of your children since I left you? It's a private event that I am doing. I am asking you to remove yourself. I just would rather you can get her later today.
Okay, well, you can have me removed him because I'm not going to leave my daughter's birthday.
Problem with that?
Well, I want to celebrate her birthday today.
You can celebrate it today.
I can pay $4.
Later on, it's still today. I don't get the issue. It's still today, her birthday. And I said, you're welcome to get her later on. Even though it's an odd year and I don't have to. You can get her later on. You can, Martell, and you had an invitation to come, but guess where you were? And you were invited. And you were invited. Yes, indeed. Okay, y'all stop.
You ain't in this thing, though!
Listen, it's not necessary. Martell, you can have a party whenever you want to. Please don't make me have the police escort you out this private event. Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Fast forward to this year, and Martell was arrested on a warrant for DV. Melody got the arrest warrant back in July 2023 after a former friend of Martell's paramour revealed that Martell was plotting to release an explicit video featuring Melody online. Melody later spilled the tea in an episode of LAMH, and according to her, Martell sent her a text message threatening her to stop messing with him. Then, to drive the point home, he sent her a screenshot of the video they had recorded when they were still together. Apparently, Martell was doing all this just to push the narrative that Melody was the one who had been unfaithful. Let's even forget how manipulative and crazy it is to be trying so hard to control the narrative, despite being a serial, unrepentant cheater. Threatening to release explicit tapes of anyone is criminal, predatory behavior. But to do that to the mother of your own kids, girl, there has never been a redder flag in the history of red flags. No matter how much bad blood is between you guys, it's the type of thing that should never even cross your mind. Anyway, the court found him guilty of DV, and he was given a 30-day suspended jail sentence, 12 months of supervised probation, and a fine of over $500. He was also required not to make any contact with Melody. Martell appealed the decision and was let out on bond pending the appeal. But instead of laying low and focusing on his life, this man took this opportunity to terrorize Melody even more. He went ahead and filed some pretty wild claims in court against Melody for what he called misbehavior, asking the court to hold her in contempt. Girl, this man was really wilding out. He claimed Melody allows the children to visit and stay with her mother, Vanessa Tracy, without giving him the first right of refusal or giving him Vanessa's contact. God forbid a woman sends her kids to stay with their grandmother. The horror. But that wasn't all. He also claimed Melody allowed their 2 oldest children to drive her car, and she used corporal punishment on their youngest daughter. Then he said Melody was having an affair with security personnel who is allegedly married. Melody didn't even allow the ink to dry on Martell's petition before she fired back, saying these were nothing but baseless lies. She asked the court to throw them out so they could focus on the real issues. You know, the fact that he had been threatening to release her videos and stalking her. Luckily, the court sided with Melody and threw every single one of Martell's complaints out the window. Then the court ordered him to undergo psychological evaluations and counseling with his son. But again, Martell didn't follow any of these orders. It's like the more Melody tries to fix things, the more Martell tries to destroy them. And you can tell she has been regretting ever dating Martell from the moment when she broke down on IG Live while trying to tell her side of the story with the whole revenge porn allegations.
I've seen and I know about Carson and what she recently revealed in the last couple of days. It's disturbing. Took me a little while to process it. I feel that you gotta be some kind of low to even consider or think about asking or doing such a thing. I know that it's true. Okay, I know that it's true. And the reason I know that it's true is because when I posted last year sometime about, so revenge porn, really? That was because a screenshot from this video of myself and my then husband, he had actually sent it to me. He sent it to me after he did a live discussing the custody case, which was something, by the way, that I never wanted discussed, never wanted to talk about it. If you pay attention and watch the show, I didn't speak about it till the last episode of last season. That was because I literally had been telling production, nope, this involves my kids. I'm not talking about it. Nope. Finally, they were like, Melody, you gotta say something because you're not saying anything, but you're showing us things outside of the camera and we're getting one side. You gotta say something. Then I finally said just a little bit at that time.
But it became really obvious that Melody was done with that man when she started withdrawing herself from him, both on the show and in real life. In fact, at some point, she was hoping and praying that Martell would get kicked out of the show.
You want my answer for real?
Go ahead, boo.
My reaction was, y'all ready? Yeah. He gotta go. That was my reaction. And the reason, Carlos, for one, I felt sorry for you because I know too how much you care about this show, how hard you worked on this show as well. And me knowing that I had just gotten 10 dozen roses a few months before that, okay, like sent to my home from him. The flowers, like, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody told you to send me 10 dozen roses. You know what I mean? So I hated that he did it that way and made it seem as if you told him to do that. I didn't for once think you told him to do that. The reason I felt he gotta go is because outside of my personal feelings because of the attacks that I receive, the show as a whole, whenever you have him, his, I don't know what I should call a significant other, whatever y'all want to call her, talking about and sharing, I knew y'all would do it for me, talking about and sharing information pertaining to scenes, pertaining to, I still remember when you came into Huntsville last season and met with us, and it was blasted by, and it had to come from him, and it was Carlos is here, and now my name came up, and I was sold, I'm too disrespectful. It's just a lie, and at some point, when do you start making people take accountability for their role?
Since that didn't happen, Melody has been quietly nursing her wounds. According to insiders, she loves her kids and wouldn't trade them for anything, but she sometimes wishes she never dated Martell. You know the worst part? Martell keeps giving her more reason acting crazy and following Melody around like some obsessed fan. The court decided to step in and just remove the contact from no contact. Basically, Martell cannot have anything to do with Melody, at least pending the time the case is settled. No calls, no no texts, definitely no following her around or showing up at her house, not even if it has to do with the kids or the custody battle. This is a win for Melody because having your crazy ex stalk you is a situation no woman ever wants to be in. But then again, Martell has been ignoring everything the court told him to do since the case started. What's stopping him from ignoring this one as well? The more updates that come out about Martell and Melody's relationship, the more unhinged it seems. It's a crazy situation, and here's what fans had to say about it. He needs to be held accountable for not leaving Mel alone. He messed up their marriage. She divorced him. She changed her last name and has been thriving since. He's toxic and wants to destroy her. I'm praying for Mel and her children. Also, in the LamH Facebook group, the women who windmill for Martell and hate on Mel is alarming. This dude is unhinged. He is so bitter over the fact that Melody left him and chose not to keep tolerating his cheating. Dude, get over it. Move on. She has, and she is never coming back. Why can't he let go? He made this bed for himself. Are we surprised? Unfortunately, he'll never leave her alone. Carlos and Own are negligent in allowing a person convicted of any form of DV to film on that show. Okay guys, y'all gotta keep this conversation going in the comments section. Do you think Martell might actually be a danger to Melody's life? And do you think Melody needs to start watching her back now? Drop your thoughts and opinions down below and stick around for this next video.